I think it's really shocking at first when you get your call, because you don't know what it's like, you don't know what to expect, maybe a little apprehensive. For me, I just couldn't believe that I was going to Madagascar. It was just hard to even fathom that it was real. I woke up the next day, and for the next few months before I left, every day I'd like, wait, I'm going to Madagascar. I can't believe it. And it never really hit me until, even the MTC, it didn't really hit me, I don't think, until I got to Madagascar, and I was like, wow, okay, this is actually real. Yeah, it's an interesting time frame, because I waited for 4.5 months between when I got my mission call and when I left. And school was done. I didn't really have a lot to do, and I tried to take that time to prepare. I don't know how well I did, but it was, I think, good for me personally to have that time to focus, because I think I would have been more stressed if I'd been in school. So it was, obviously we don't get to choose it, and I wouldn't recommend it, but it was good for me to have that time to prepare. And mission prep that I took at BYU also helped me kind of get in that mind frame of what to expect. MTC, I think, I guess it depends on the personality of the missionary, for whether or not they'll like it. I love the MTC. I had no problem with it at all. I loved learning a language. I don't know, for me that was just something that was really exciting to me. I love learning languages, and the challenge of it was fun. I didn't like teaching so much at first. I hated practicing teaching. They were like, hey, let's go practice. I was like, why do we need to practice? You just taught me how to do it, so why should I practice? But I realized the value of practicing at that point, that I really needed to practice what I was learning. And it is uncomfortable. I think an uncomfortable transition for some people. A lot of missionaries are really independent before they go into the into the MTC, and then they find it really hard to be with somebody all the time. And so there's struggles with learning how to get along with people, and then on top of that, learning the language and learning how to teach. For me, I was okay. I didn't have any major problems, but teaching there, I've seen a lot of issues where they don't know how to resolve their differences, and so they end up just not talking, or things get really bad, and then as teachers we kind of have to mend the fences and help them out. But I think that's probably the most difficult thing for missionaries coming into the MTC, and how to counteract that. I don't really know, other than being humble and being patient and being willing to change if you don't quite fit the circumstances, as most missionaries won't, because of different backgrounds. Cultural as well. I've taught a lot of missionaries that aren't used to an American culture, and so they struggle coming in to adjust to the American culture, just in getting along with everybody, let alone their companion. So there's a lot of challenges, but I think it's in that way, it's a good preparation for the field, because you are going to be with somebody for 24 hours a day, and you are going to be working with them, and you don't necessarily have to love them to death, but you do need to learn how to respect them and to work with them. So I think that's probably the most important thing about the MTC.